Yeah, Pepper, come on.
All right. As you can tell, one of us is sick, and it's Elisa's fault that I'm sick.
Yeah, it's always my fault.
The last three episodes back, I was allergic to her bullshit, so it got me sick.
Wow, just like that.
Where's our drink?
And we're back.
Yeah, give me a drink. This is like the fight at Thanksgiving dinner.
And, today's topic, we're going to be focusing on Dinners of Death.
Dinners of Death.
Had a rip-off Joe Boss title because I thought that was clever, so.
And he's doing a Thanksgiving thing, right?
Yeah.
Or Black Friday. What is it? Black
Thursday.
Yeah. But he hasn't listed what he's going to talk about, right? Or
No,
show?
but I think one of them is going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That's a great family dinner film.
Oh, hell yeah, it is. And,
that'll be cool.
So before we move on to our topic, did you ever go see Suspiria?
I did not. No. My dad ended up talking too much, so I never got to go see it. I really do want to see it, though. Did you?
No, I haven't. I've been laid up with the cold, so
yeah.
I haven't been able to go see it.
I really do want to check it out, though. I'm hearing a lot of mixed reviews on it, so...
Yeah, people are split on the movie. They're saying that, oh, it's artistic. Oh, it's a ripoff. Oh, it's too slow. Or it's intense.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of people that either hate it or love it. Which is kind of to be expected, really, because Suspiria is not a movie that you could easily remake.
Yeah, and it looks so different than the original. Like, it's not colorful like the original one. So I'm really interested to see how they did that, and also like Tom York doing the soundtrack, compared to Goblin,
which I thought was an interesting choice too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I really like him. I think he's like really talented, but yeah, I always say don't judge it until you see it, because I disagree with a lot of people anyways. So I do really want to check it out, though. Yeah, Halloween. But again, it's a limited
that conversation yet.
Again, it's a limited release, and it's not playing everywhere, so it is hard to go watch. That's the downside.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to go see it hopefully this weekend. But there are like 3 other movies too that came out this weekend: Overlord,
oh yeah,
The Girl in the Spider's Web, and The Grinch.
So wait, is The Grinch like a remake of Boris Karloff's one or Jim Carrey's one?
It's actually a revision one of the original show.
So it's like less than 30 minutes?
No. So basically the whole half hour takes place in the last half hour of the movie.
What?
And then they just padded it out with him training to be Santa.
Oh, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I love The Grinch. The Grinch is one of my favorite, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait till that comes to rent or something.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go see that, but I do. Illumination does have really good strong animation films, so we'll see. Also, you just said you saw some Mandy.
I just saw Mandy last night, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. I'm like one of the rare people that loves Nicolas Cage, and any crazy Nicolas Cage performance I can get, I will love and watch. So I really enjoyed it. I thought it was beautiful, and it was funny at parts, and disturbing, and yeah, and I really like that director too. So I really, really enjoyed it. A lot of people like said they were let down, or it was like there's so much hype on it that they were kind of let down with it. But I was like, I wasn't expecting too much, but I thought it was a good film. Crazy story. It
wasn't a straight revenge film, yeah, but the way they shot it and the way it was edited,
it was beautiful.
I think that's what elevated the story,
and the music too was really good. Yeah, it was like that 80s kind of like synth dark tone music, which I really love.
And I thought the acting being kind of over the top, really worked.
And there's male nudity.
Male nudity
action.
For once.
Full bean action.
I didn't see one breast, I don't think, but I saw a penis.
And you see like Cage with blood on him the whole time, and I love the scene. I'm not giving away any spoilers, but of him in the car, and he's like all bloody, and he's like,
that's a fucking gift now. Like,
yeah, I love it. I love it.
I really enjoyed that movie. I thought that movie was really good.
I thought the Cheddar Goblin was going to be in it more. I was a little confused on that because everyone was like, "Oh, they made like a cheddar goblin."
Well,
figure
on the DVD, it's actually good. There's actually more cheddar goblin.
Oh,
the
there
DVD.
is.
Yeah,
Okay, because it's only like a commercial.
it's gonna be a commercial, but then there's actually a full length commercial.
Oh, nice.
Of cheddar goblin, so that's gonna be released with the extras.
So gross when it like, it's so disgusting.
I wonder if that was real.
It looked real. I mean, you
I
saw
wonder
the
if that
kids like.
I wonder if that was a real commercial. If that was a real thing.
Oh, you mean like a real?
Yeah.
No, I think they made it just for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How awesome would that be if it was?
Watch, they'll be selling like cheddar goblin mac and cheese. They should.
That'd be fun. And then those Cenobite monsters.
Yeah, those are creepy. Were they people or no?
Yeah, there were people that were just high on LSD.
But you see that like one oozing mask, or I don't know if that was a mask or someone's face. It's like kind of oozing when he's like, "You ripped my shirt, my favorite shirt."
Oh,
that guy, you know, and he's like got these tied up.
Yeah,
he looked like hell. They look like Hellraiser.
Yeah, he actually said that he actually was influenced by the Cenobites.
Oh, okay.
And that's why they got their look.
That's the first thing we said when we saw them. Like, are those Cenobites? Like, it looked a lot like it. But they were dark and creepy.
You know, originally Nicolas Cage was supposed to be the cult leader.
It's weird because I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see him, like, playing either way.
Because Thanos said that he wrote that, and it's like, you know who I want the cult leader to be? I want that to be Nicolas Cage.
I could totally see that.
And then he went up and told him, "Hey, man, do you want to play this?" Like, no, I want to play Red. I want to play someone that's a little bit more down to earth.
He's like, I want to tone it down a little. But Elijah Wood produced it. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good producer. He's actually produced a lot of movies. And your cat's always following me around.
I know. She likes you.
Isn't there a part in the movie where they explain how they got that way?
Yeah.
That there was the drugs. They
drugs.
They took too much and made their brain like.
Yeah, all like they'll see
mush.
things and all kind of crazy.
The awesome Bill Duke.
Yeah, he was.
Give you a fully what's the word? Exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought Mandy was good.
Me too. I really
that's
enjoyed it.
Bump in the Night approved.
Approved. A+.
All
or
right.
4 snaps. Is that 4 or 3 snaps? Out of it today.
It's like we're
Click,
beatnik.
click. Yeah, beatnik it up.
And if we sounds like we're kind of out of sync, is because I've been out of action for at least a couple of weeks. So this is my first week back, and hopefully I don't get anyone else sick.
Better not, so I'll kill ya. Or I'll eat you, one of the two.
Yeah, I don't think you want to do that.
Speaking of eating.
Segway.
Segway.
We need sound effects.
I know. Since it is November, we are kickstarting off food horror movies. And I'm excited about this one because I feel like there's not a lot of these.
No,
And,
there's not.
I mean, you'll get a lot of cannibalism ones, but you don't really get a lot of food horror movies. So I'm excited for... I don't know what you're going to talk about, so I'm excited to hear that. And we are eventually going to do a Thanksgiving horror episode, but that's going to be next week.
Yeah,
so.
and we're actually going to... we'll actually talk off air, but one of them is going to be Blood Rage, and
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that.
I love that soundtrack,
Is it going to
and
be complete with Moscow mules?
I'd like to do Moscow Mules. Drinking and having Thanksgiving. But yeah, I really love Blood Rage, and I love the soundtrack, and I can't find the soundtrack anywhere. So if anyone knows how I can do that, that'd be great.
I think you can find it on Waxworks.
Waxworks?
Yeah. Waxwork.com. They specialize in movie soundtracks and vinyl.
Because that soundtrack was so killer, literally killer, and I just love the beats and all those like sounds. And I went to YouTube to try and find it, and I couldn't find anything. So,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, try Waxwork.
Waxwork.
I'll send you their link, and then I think they might have it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Let's see, and then anything else?
Well, I don't want to give away our other Thanksgiving movies, but stay tuned for that. That's going to be next week's. So we'll go ahead and just jump on in. We'll kickstart our food horror movies. So we're each going to do 3. Do you want to start?
Where did you go with this, actually?
So I went with movies that I love that I feel are really underrated, that deal with food and are horror, and they don't really get a lot of and one's from the 80s, one's from the late 90s, and one is from the 2000s. So I kind of
hit it every decade.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. I'm curious.
You want me to start?
Yeah,
Okay. So my first movie choice that not a lot of people have seen is a movie called Feed. Feed.
Wait, Feed?
Feed.
Wait, is this the 2000 one?
This came out 2005. It's technically an Australian horror film, but half of it takes place in the United States.
Isn't this the one where like these group of people are in a bar and then they're trapped and then something is coming after them, right? No. There's a lot of different movies called Feed. Okay.
So this is this one, like I said, it's 2005. Fangoria called this one of the sickest films they've ever seen. So take that.
Fango says that. You know you're in for a treat.
So I'll kind of break it down into what it's about, just because I feel like not a lot of people know about it or have seen it. So the film follows Philip, who is a cybercrime investigator who recently became quite distraught off of his last case that dealt with cannibalism. A super weird case. So after that, he's kind of like down and out and kind of lost. But then eventually, Philip finds a suspicious website for feeders and gainers, which is a world of fat erotica. It's a sexual subculture where fat admiring men, they're called the feeders, seek out insanely obese women who are called the gainers. It turns out one of these men may be taking it up a notch. Get it? Where he feeds the women to death and shows it online. He broadcasts their death online. So Philip tracks him down to Toledo, Ohio, and uncovers this dark and sinister world. The man that is doing it is named Michael Carter, who's played by Alex O'Loughlin. Super good looking guy, great physical shape. There's like a nude scene of him. Anyway, in his normal life, he's got like a skinny, like healthy girlfriend, but in his dark and dangerous world, the other women he is slowly feeding to death are like 600 pounds and they can't even get up and like leave the room. This film was directed by Brett Leonard, who also directed Lawnmower Man. So it's very weird. And he also directed The Dead Pit. So be prepared for like a very weird, disturbing film. It's not gory by any means, but it's really freaking disturbing. There's one scene, it's kind of close to the beginning, where Michael is feeding her, the 600-pound woman, with a cheeseburger, and he's like kind of getting off on it, and he's naked, and he's kind of like, as the audience, like we kind of suspect him. Oh no, did she drop it? Cats. Can this hear me or?
Yeah.
Okay, so we had a cat attack. But we kind of like think he is.
So hopefully she'll stay away.
Yeah, she'll learn her lesson. We kind of think he's masturbating as he's feeding her these cheeseburgers.
Well, if his hand is fucking going in a very fast rate, I mean, what do you think it's doing?
Well,
distinct motion.
It doesn't like show it, but
I mean,
he's
you
just
see his arm, yeah.
Anyways, but it's just great because then like he's like driving in his car and
an itch he has to scratch.
Yeah, ew. And but it's just like it's kind of campy too because there's a scene where he's picking up her cheeseburgers and it's playing this song Cherish by The Association. Cherish is the world. It's like a 50s song. And he's just like, la, 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 like singing in his car. And then he goes to her and she's like all 600 pound tied up and like just gross. And he's like feeding her. And it's a very, very disturbing, gross movie. I actually showed this to all my friends and they're like, you're sick. Like, how could you watch this? You're disgusting. And we would make fun of it at the same time because there is funny dialogue. She's like, don't you come in here and tease me with your hamburgers. And so like we crack each other up with that stuff, but there is disgusting scenes. Like there's a cannibalism scene of a penis being cooked and this guy saying, I want to be eaten. So there is like a lot of weird stuff going on, but
so he fed her a sausage sandwich then?
No, this was the case before her. So there's just a lot of disturbing stuff and it's really great. I really recommend it. Like, eat fast food as you're watching it if you want, but I just feel like a lot of people don't know about this, and it's a shame. And
yeah, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
That's saying something.
Oh. So, yeah, that one's from 2005.
He knows everything.
Yeah. But if you like disturbing movies, like I said, it's not gory, but it's just, like, it leaves you feeling, like, gross. this one's for you. So that's my first pick is Feed from 2005.
Feed.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Well, I don't even know how I'm gonna top that. Like for real, I don't know how I could top that. I mean, how's that not your number one?
My number one's really freaking great.
Okay.
So
well, all right, you set the bar pretty high. Then.
Set the belt notch a little high.
All right, so I kind of went a little not obvious with my choices, but I've been laid out for a few weeks, and I've been trying to watch a few movies about horror and food. I watched the original Blood Feast.
Nice.
And oh my god, that movie is such a fucking slog to get through.
I know. I haven't seen it in a while.
If it wasn't for the Joe Bob version, I don't think I could have gotten through that.
Is it on Shudder?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one with the Joe Bob, and then
nice.
there's another one. There's the original ones on there too.
So did you watch the Joe Bob one then?
Yeah, because that was the only way I could get through it. I was like, oh my god, what am I watching? I tried to watch the original one, but it was way too much for me to rent, so I ended up renting Sushi Girl instead. But what I ended up going with my number 3 is Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh,
actually,
interesting.
Yes, it does. It's food because basically Seymour is fucking feeding this fucking plant.
I want that plant so bad.
The whole entire time.
Imagine having that plant though. Like if your pets are pissing you off, here you go. You know, it's just such a cool plant.
Feed me.
Feed me.
Especially when the plant starts singing and then you just cannot stop.
That's a cute movie though. Like it's disturbing but cute.
That is a fucking horrifying movie. I don't care what anyone says. That's a scary movie, especially if you're like tripping. Like,
yeah.
If you're like on some shit.
Or on like LSD or something and you have plants and then you start looking around at your plants and
you're like, wait, are they talking to me now?
These guys. I have a lot of plants in my house, so.
You know, and Steve Martin is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
As a dentist. He's pretty fucking cool. You know, this is one of the musicals that I actually like. I think this is a fun musical because the music is on point. Mm-hmm. And it's a horror genre, so I think that helps.
Yeah. But it's like comedic too.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, and I think that's what helps it. Yeah. And it's Rick Moranis, and he's feeding this fucking plant throughout the whole entire time. And
what happened to Rick Moranis? He doesn't like.
Oh yeah, I think he retired.
That's a shame.
I think back in 2000 he retired to be a family man.
Oh.
And so that's pretty much what he's been doing. And god damn it,
cats feed you to the Venus flytrap.
So I went with Little Shop of Horrors, and that's
a good one.
I think that's a good one to go with.
Much lighter than Feed for sure.
I don't know. It's pretty dark. It's still kind of dark. Not as dark as that, but I mean, you show that to a 10-year-old. Holy shit!
They'll kind of flip out.
I always thought Little Shop of Horrors kind of lighthearted.
Shut up.
What year? What year did that come out again?
I want to say 87.
Oh, the year I was
right around. I think it was right after Ghostbusters.
It had a very Ghostbusters kind of feel, like the same kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah,
those two would be a good marathon, I think.
1986.
Oh, okay, 86.
Let's see.
Aren't they going to remake that? Or I thought someone was going to maybe it was for Broadway or something.
Oh no, they did a Broadway show for
Broadway.
it. Fun fact: Tisha Campbell Martin and Tanisha Arnold, both of Martin fame, were the backup singers.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. I really wish they stuck with the original ending. And the original ending is that the plant grows up and he becomes fucking Godzilla. And he starts rummaging through New York and starts fucking destroying the whole entire building.
That would have been cool. They should have done a sequel.
And then he takes over. I think it's on YouTube actually. They actually did it?
Yeah,
they actually shot it.
Oh, I didn't know
that. They actually shot it, and they were gonna re-release it. The studio said, "No,
why?
That is way too dark."
Oh,
because they don't kill the plant.
Yeah,
it ends with the plant just roaring.
That'd be pretty, but that'd be a cool take on Mother Nature versus people. You know, I don't know. I like that. They should have done that.
I thought that would have been I was like, when I saw that ending a few years ago, I was like, Why didn't they do this?
Yeah,
that would have been awesome. That would have
really
elevated
cool.
that movie so much. So that's my number 3.
All right, number 3. All right, my next film is called The Stuff from 1985. Have you seen this movie?
Which one was it?
The Stuff?
No.
It's on Shudder.
This is on my queue.
Yeah.
And I am waiting to watch it.
Okay, so it's on Shudder. Let me give a little breakdown of what it is. So,
oh, wait. Where was Feed?
Feed?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to rent. It used to be on Netflix, but I think they might have taken. You know how Netflix is.
Yeah.
So Feed, you're probably gonna have to rent online.
On Prime?
Ew! What was that?
What?
I found sound effects.
So you use like a fart sound?
Sound
Yeah, was
effects.
that you or
You're talking
your
about
phone?
feeding. Yeah, it was right. I'm all. That was the sound effect.
No soundboards
I
here.
swear.
I need like a moist effect for what I'm talking about now because it's called The Stuff.
Let me see what I got.
So The Stuff is from 1985, total 80s movie. A delicious and mysterious goo oozes from the earth that's discovered by these 2 miner guys who decide to taste it randomly, like, something's there. Let me taste this to see if it's good. And it turns out it is. It's like super delicious. So it's marketed called The Stuff and becomes the newest dessert sensation. And it looks like marshmallow ice cream. And then the American public like goes crazy for it, literally eats up. And it takes the stuff once you eat it, it starts to take over the human and makes them into kind of like a zombie-like creature.
Don't
And
they turn into like putty or something like that?
no, but I don't want to give anything away, but they're willing to like do anything to get more stuff and eat it. And this one little kid though is the main character in the movie, and he thinks something's up with the stuff. And it kind of freaks him out. So he doesn't eat it. So then he uncovers, what's going on. His parents start acting weird and his whole family. So he teams up with like this guy who's kind of like, I don't know if he's FBI. I think he's part of FBI. But he kind of like ends up with him and they try to take the company down and all this stuff. But the one thing that I love about this movie is it's super 80s and it has kind of the same vibe as They Live. Mm-hmm. Where it's mass consumption in the 80s. So the 80s, everybody wanted like bigger, better, more. So this totally has that feel to it.
Kind of like a target at Reaganism.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a very fun film. It's got cheesy dialogue, but I love this film because it's just really entertaining and so 80s.
Written and directed by Larry Cohen too.
Yes, who's done so many insane movies. So I always like want to eat ice cream when I watch this. Just because, like, it totally looks like ice cream, but someone marketed it on Etsy. Like, they'll actually, like, they made it. They actually sell it. So I thought that was pretty funny. I want to kind of buy it, but yeah, The Stuff. Like, check it out. 1985. You can get it on Shudder now. Do you have a sound effect? I hear it's something. Right. Is it like squirt?
It's just not right.
It's not right.
So the original cut of the film, and this is The Stuff. The original cut of the film was said to be much longer, described by Larry Cohen, as more dense and sophisticated.
Oh, really?
Feeling that the film was too long, it was cut to increase the pace of the film. There was a romantic scene between Moriarty and Andrea that took place in a hotel room in the original cut.
I could see that, huh?
And it's got quite the cast.
That sounded so gross.
That's the squirch. That's not moist.
Yeah, that's not moist. That's just like squirt. It's like diarrhea in a toilet.
That's perfect after the fart.
Our producer really is having a bunch of bodily function issue today.
Yeah.
Ew, that was a good
that
one.
was perfect. There you go.
Quite the cast in here. You got Michael Moriarty, Garrett Mowers, Paul Sorvino.
Yeah, he's good. Paul Sorvino in this.
Danny Aiello. Can't go wrong with Danny Aiello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So.
How'd you say that one last name?
Shut up.
Moriarty? No. What'd you say?
Yeah, I
you
think
said
that's
it weird.
It doesn't matter if I said it.
I really want a sound effects board just so I can like mess. Yeah, you'll be the sound effects board.
She's gonna be staining that couch.
Ew.
I'm telling you, those are not sound effects.
Gross.
I run to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better. Okay.
Yeah, that's my second pick. So what's your next one?
My next one is actually a kind of a weird one, actually. I don't even think it has anything to do with food.
What?
But there's food in the title, which is weird. It's called Blood and Donuts.
Oh, I haven't seen this, but I want to.
This is a fucking weird movie.
Someone on Shudder, right?
Yeah.
Is there actual blood and donuts in it?
There's donuts for sure. I don't remember seeing any blood.
Is it gory or like
No.
are they donuts that kill people?
No. Okay. So,
Oh, okay.
This,
So
what
what
this
is it?
is? So what this is a vampire, and apparently he was on the fucking moon with Neil Armstrong.
Wow.
And he hopped into their capsule.
For reals?
For real.
This is for real.
For real. For real.
Wow.
I'm shit you not. This movie opens
What the?
with the Apollo mission going to the moon.
Wow.
And it says Neil Armstrong does this whole spiel and
Yeah.
says, I'm here on the moon, we're enjoying it. And then it's actual footage of the moon.
What the hell?
And then it cuts and it says in 1969, man landed on the moon. And Boya landed in their bag.
Oh my god.
It's like, what?
Boy is a vampire, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that's the name.
Sorry. I hit that on accident.
Wow.
Was that Boya?
It was supposed to be Homer saying donut.
Wait till I get to the
I'll
donut
stop now.
part.
I know.
Jesus, you
Donut.
need
I
to
was,
work
like,
on your
ready.
timing.
And I hit it at the wrong.
I love donuts.
And so anyway,
Anyway.
oh my god.
All right, bye.
Anyway, so it opens up with a guy playing golf, and Sandman is playing in the background. Yeah, that one. And then this guy's hitting golf balls, and then the golf balls all of a sudden do like a fucking boomerang, and then it comes back, and then it fades into the credits.
Wow.
One of the golf balls hits a window and knocks down a 2x4, and then you see like a sleeping bag, like a sleeping tent, and he starts ripping it, and then you see like the newspaper clipping from when man was on the moon. So man has landed, and then you just see these vampire hands come out. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So does this take place in 69?
No, so
Okay.
now it's 1993.
Random.
So whenever the movie was released.
Oh.
So it's in the 90s. So it's,
This came out in the 90s?
yeah, it came out in the 90s.
Oh,
It was a
that's
Canadian
newer.
film.
Huh. Makes sense. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Exploitation. And so anyway, the whole premise of this is that this vampire is lonely and he doesn't want to kill anyone. Instead of feasting on humans, he eats rats
Gross.
and pigeons and all that stuff. And so
Yeah.
at the same time,
Rats and pigeons.
and at the same time, there's this stylist who senses this vampire has risen. It's like she senses him, and then she's like cutting someone's hair, and she's like shuddering, and then she backs up and then knocks over her fucking counter. And it's like,
Wow.
oh my god, he's been released. It's like,
How does she know?
then you find out later that she was bitten by him, so there's a link.
Oh, okay. Like he.
So And so anyway, this guy goes to like this cemetery for whatever reason, digs up a grave, and I don't know. It's just I don't know. This movie's just so weird.
So what are the donuts about?
Okay, so there's this all night
Right?
This makes no sense. Like why? Is
Okay,
there...
so anyway, he goes to a hotel,
Uh-huh.
gets a room for the night. There's a all night donut shop about a block away, and he goes in there. He talks to the girl in there, and he starts talking to the girl, and then she's like, "Do you want a donut?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "What? A donut? Do you want a donut?" She starts listing off things. She's like, "Kiwi. I'll take a kiwi." He takes a kiwi donut.
Wow.
And he's like, "Oh, it's delicious, good." And then he starts eating the donuts. But then he only eats donuts like maybe part of the time in the movie.
So it's not really like a big.
It's really
thing in
not about
movie?
the fucking donuts.
It's
It's a weird movie. I don't know.
it good though? Like,
No,
did
it
you-
wasn't.
Oh, it's not? So you don't recommend
I
it?
don't recommend
Okay.
this. I watched. It was an hour and a half. And
Zero
I'm,
Z's.
You'll never get your life back, kind of movie.
yeah, I was
Okay.
like, no.
That sucks.
You know, he's dealing with an ex-girlfriend. Oh my god, there's this guy who's a cab driver. I shit you not. If it's any reason to worth watching, it's for this cab driver. Because this cab driver talks like Christopher Walken.
Oh my god.
He
I
does.
should have got Christopher Walken.
He does the Christopher Walken impersonation throughout the whole entire movie. Like,
Is he in
"Do
it
you
a
know?"
lot?
Huh?
Is he in it a
No,
lot?
he's the lead character. It's like, do you know, like Molly's. I want a cup of coffee all day. Okay, all right. You see these guys over here? Like, I don't know them. I owe them money, but I'm a good guy. He talks like that the whole entire time. And I just could not stop laughing. The one saving grace though is David Cronenberg, who's in this movie.
What?
Yeah, he plays the mob boss who
Oh
the
my
cabbie
God.
owns
Oh,
money
because it's
to.
Canadian and he's Canadian.
And so he's in there and he's look, man.
Wow.
And he's pretty awesome in this. But
He's a good actor too.
yeah, he is actually.
Nightbreed, he was great in Nightbreed.
He has like he's like maybe in the movie for like maybe 5 minutes.
How did they get him? I wonder if like he's friends with the filmmakers or something.
Maybe.
Those Canadians got to stick together, you know.
Have to, mine. I don't know, but Blood and Donuts.
So what would you like rate it?
I would rate it like a half a Z.
Holy shit,
That's
that's
like
bad.
That's like
There.
a hat
One line.
and then like a line.
Wow. Okay.
It's like kind of like a half 7.
Why does Shudder have it then?
You know what? Honestly, if you would, I don't know, maybe your taste might be different, but like I was watching
Literally, my taste.
it. Yeah. Honestly, it's like it is a weird movie, and I can appreciate what they were going for. There's such a good idea in this movie, though. There's like such a good premise that they just don't
didn't deliver.
They don't fixate on it.
Oh.
Like, it's like it tried to be Innocent Blood before
Uh-huh.
Innocent Blood.
Oh.
Now, if you don't know Innocent Blood is a John Landis vampire movie that is about a vampire killing mobsters in New York. That's what this movie kind of should have been.
Yeah.
And it probably would have worked, and they would have stuck the comedic landing a little bit more, because everyone here was funny, but they tried to take it, like, serious.
So was it intended to be a comedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just feel like they try to make it serious, though.
Would've
It's
been
labeled
funny-
as a horror comedy, but
But yeah.
they don't deliver on the horror, but they accidentally deliver on the comedy.
How weird. It would have been funny if it was like a donut shop catered to vampires, like the donuts were filled with blood or something.
That would have been a
That
good
would have been
idea.
good, right?
Because the way that I read the description, I thought the vampire worked at the all-night donut shop,
Yeah.
dealing with an ex-girlfriend that's pissed off that he left her for 30 years.
But that's
and,
not what it is at all.
and dealing with a cab driver that's trying to save the
Wow.
cab driver's ass, and then trying to pick up on this college girl, you know. But everything's reversed.
That's so
The
weird.
college girl runs the donut shop. The cab driver, yeah, he still saves his ass. And then the ex-girlfriend tries to kill the vampire.
How weird. What a weird sounding movie.
It is a weird movie. I do recommend.
Not seen it?
Not seeing it, but if you're interested, I do. That is my producer over there saying that she wants donuts.
Donuts.
Who
Psycho
doesn't
donuts.
love donuts?
I want donuts, actually.
I love
now.
donuts.
I want to go to Krispy Kreme now.
Where is there a Krispy Kreme around here?
San Jose.
Oh, boo. Well, you just go to Psycho Donuts. They're way better.
No, I don't want to do that.
Where's that?
They used to be a part of an old school theater called Camera 3 Cinemas. That's not, they moved. So they're,
Psycho Donuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to go there, but I didn't know.
They have vegan donuts, which is great.
And champagne donuts.
They have everything. They have cereal donuts.
Do
like
they have donuts filled with blood?
they had one that was filled with red jelly, and it was like I don't know. It reminds me of Voodoo Donuts, which is up in Portland. Oh my god, they have great donuts too. But I'm getting hungry
I know. Stop talking about food. Why are we talking about food now?
because we're talking about food horror.
All right. So, what you got?
Well, after you see my first pick, you won't want to eat. Actually, okay. So this is kind of a lot happens in this, so I really gotta like go over it without giving too much away. So my first pick is Ravenous from 1999. Have you seen this?
I've heard about this. I have not seen this yet.
Does not get enough respect at all. All right, so let me kind of break it down. Just give me a minute because there's a lot going on. So, okay. In 1847, many Americans made the journey across our continent in search of gold. Many failed to complete the journey or see their dreams come to light. So Captain John Boyd, played by the lovely Guy Pearce, found his way there thanks to an act of cowardice during the Mexican-American War. He has been banished to a desolate military outpost in California's Sierra Nevada mountains. Upon his arrival, he's greeted by a ragtag group of soldiers. These guys are great. Who are manning the fort. You have Hart, who's played by Jeffrey Jones. You have the despondent commanding officer, Toffler, played by Jeremy Davis, who's a really good actor as well. And then you have the company chaplain, Knox, played by Steven Spinella. The drunken doctor, which is Neil McDonough. I don't know if I'm butchering that. McDonough. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
And then the only real soldier of the group, this guy's great. His name's Cleves, is played by David Arquette. And then you have a heavily medicated camp cook. And then one day, very randomly, this guy shows up named Culcan, played by Robert Carlyle. Robert Carlyle is so amazing and like deserves to be in more movies. So he just like stumbles upon their camp, and it's like all snow. Like it's like kind of if I were to team this up with another movie, it'd be The Revenant. It just has that feel, like being out in the snow and being cold. So Robert Carlyle stumbles up just randomly, and the half-starved Scotsman has been traveling with a group of settlers until they are snowbound. So unable to move forward, they take refuge in a cave where they run out of food and they are forced to resort to cannibalism. So Culcan barely escaped this madness, or did he, or is he covering something up? So Boyd and the soldiers hear of the old Indian legend called the Wendigo. I hope I'm not butchering that. Wendigo, which states a man who tastes the flesh of another steals that man's strength. It's kind of like a vampiric kind of thing. They steal their strength, their spirit, and their essence. So his hunger will make him unstoppable, and it makes him crave more. And the more he eats, the more he wants, and he'll become actually stronger. So the soldiers are soon drawn into this frenzy, and Boyd is soon left with the choice of eating or being the one that's eaten. So I don't want to give a lot away because this is it is a heavy movie, but the dialogue and everything and the spacing is written so well. So you kind of have these two characters, Boyd and Culcan. You know, Boyd senses something's up with this guy. Something's not right. And you kind of find out what happens. Mm-hmm. And then you just have these two males who are just kind of like going at it. And the dialogue is just amazing. And it does get gory. This is a very gory, bloody film. And what I love about it is the score, which doesn't get enough appreciation. Damon Albarn, who's from Blur and the Gorillaz, did the soundtrack. And
oh, no way.
It's so freaking weird. It's like one of the weirdest soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. But the more I listen to it, the more I appreciate it. Because like there's one scene where there's like chasing and they're shooting, but it kind of sounds like hillbilly music. And it's very random, and but then it makes sense at the same time. So what I love about this movie is just the insane acting, and I love it because Guy Pearce is a vegetarian in real life. Mm-hmm. So some of the scenes that they show in the beginning where all these soldiers are just eating meat and like red blood meat, and he's just sitting there, and you totally feel for him because the expressions he's making as all these guys are eating this stuff, he's just so disgusted. So you can really like feel that since he is a vegetarian in real life. And I don't know, like I said, the dialogue in this is great. There's so many good one-liners, and there's just such a great payoff at the end. I don't want to give any spoilers or anything away, but it gets intense once they discover what's in the cave. And then it's like another story happens after that. So I really recommend this film. It's also directed by a woman, and it doesn't get enough credit in that aspect because they always say, oh, women can't direct horror. Women can't, you know.
Oh, they can't.
They can.
They can't.
They can.
They can't.
But
prime example, Blood and Donuts. That was directed by a woman.
That's like one bad film of the batch. But the film also had a lot of like production issues, like a lot of directors quit, and Robert Carlyle worked with this woman on many other projects, so he actually recommended her. So she came on like last minute. But I know like there was a bunch of other issues, but it's such a great film, and it's so disturbing, and it's like, man, do I want to eat after watching this or what? Because it's just like, it's pretty gross. It's pretty gory, but great acting, great everything. I can't say enough good things about this one.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good movie.
Yeah.
I remember I was being really interested in seeing that movie when it came out when I was a kid. I just never had the chance to go see it.
And that's the thing. A lot of people feel like it would be in your video store, but no one would rent it. I confused
this movie because I wanted to rent this.
Mm-hmm.
I confused this movie with what was it? The 13th? No, the Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Oh, okay.
That's because they kind of had the same cover.
Oh, okay.
And so I actually thought I rented Ravenous, and I rented that movie. And let's just say that was not a good movie at all.
Yeah, it's weird because I feel like this was always at the video store. Like I always saw it, but I never picked it up. I didn't see it until probably college because I got really into veganism and stuff, and I was like, there's not a lot of like vegan or vegetarian horror films, or so I like all my research. I found this one, and I'm like, what the? And I love Robert Carlyle and Guy Pearce, so I was like, oh, I'll give this a go. But I feel like a lot of people just kind of walked by it, or it's soldiers, it's the Sierra Nevadas. What is it, like a gold rush settler movie? So I think it kind of got dismissed in that way.
Yeah.
But now I feel like it has more of an appreciation. The people that do actually watch it, they'll say, yeah, that was a really good movie. So yeah, I really recommend this one, and I always joke that I play the soundtrack around Thanksgiving. Because it's so, I wish I could play it on here, but I don't think, I don't want to get in trouble or anything, but it's just so weird. I'll play it for you once we're done.
All right.
Yeah.
Back to Blood and Donuts, though. It was 1995.
It came out in 95?
It came out in 95. So it was 2 years after Innocent Blood. And this actually was directed by a woman, Holly Dale. And
Did she do anything else?
Yeah, she's done Hookers on the Divvy, Prison for Women, Hush Little Baby.
Sounds like lesbian. I don't know.
Calling the Shots, Starship Invasions, and that's pretty much it.
Those all sound like porn titles or something. Don't they? I don't know.
Let's see. So, Hookers on the Divvy is actually a documentary about hookers in Vancouver.
Oh, shit.
So basically it says that this was her first feature film. She was known for documentaries.
Did she write it too, or no?
Let's see. No, it's written by Andrew Ray Brizzies. That must be might be a made up name. Like a pseudonym, you know how some people want to like,
Sounds
I don't want to be associated with that.
Sounds like it.
So my number one is actually kind of obvious. I went with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Just because, you know what? It's barbecue. You have the family dinner. You have grandpa fucking can't hold the fucking hammer. And then you have everyone howling at this poor old girl at the end of the table. And they want to make her eat raw meat.
And it has one of the best lines. Look what your brother did to the
door. Yeah, this movie is pretty funny. It takes a couple of watches to actually get the humor.
That would be a good pair with Ravenous, actually, because Ravenous is technically people debate it's a black comedy.
Really?
Yeah, it's really weird because when you're watching it again, it's fucking hilarious. And I know we're gonna do a podcast on horror and being funny, and is it supposed to be funny? So that one you might want to watch just because of that, but because of it's cannibalism, but there's like really funny things going on, which is really weird. Like Jeffrey Jones, I don't want to give it away, but he says a line saying it's lonely being a cannibal. So it's just Texas Chainsaw in this, I think, would be a great marathon, actually. Good double feature.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
You know, this movie is just like a really raw movie too.
Literally.
It's just, you know, raw expressionism at its best. And you know what? Toby doesn't get enough credit for what he did with this movie.
No, and they suffered to make this movie. I mean, this was true indie filmmaking.
It was like 30 days in hot Texas, all in 100 days.
The sweat, the smell.
They left the meats out in the house, and then they come back, and then the whole place will just smell.
They used real bones from India. Like, this movie is just.
Didn't they hate him too during the film?
Well, I'm sure
they all hated him.
I'm sure she had like a mental breakdown because, like, I mean, they shot that scene, the dinner scene, the most infamous scene, and you can tell, like, you can always tell an actor they're suffering, right? And you feel like you're suffering with her watching this, and yeah, I don't know. This is such good acting, I think.
Oh shit! Probably not even acting.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Is
reality?
It acting
Yeah.
It was shot like a documentary too.
It was shot like a documentary,
and it made you feel like this was real.
I've heard something funny. The guy that plays Franklin, the brother in the wheelchair. People were so annoyed with him on set because he, back then, before method acting was a thing, he was a method actor and no one knew that. So he would act that way on set and people would get annoyed with him and didn't even want to hang out with him because of that.
Wow.
Isn't that funny?
Wow.
Because he's super annoying, right? And
he's an asshole.
Yeah. I mean, even though he's in a wheelchair, you feel bad for him, but I don't know. I always laugh when he goes... Like, he's doing, like, this, like, he's all frustrated and he's sitting in his wheelchair and, like, snorting and stuff. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, too, because at the end, Crenshaw said that when he's dancing with the chainsaw, so I know Toby's, he said in his book, like, I know Toby's right there at the camera. I'm going to swing my chainsaw as hard as I can, and if I fucking hit him, I hit him.
Yeah.
Because, like, he's all... Man, I fucking hate this.
Yeah. Didn't he even cut his leg, too?
Yeah, he cut his leg off.
Yeah.
I think on that scene, actually.
A bunch of people, like, a lot of them got hurt making this.
But that's one of those films that, I feel that it's appropriate to watch on Thanksgiving, actually.
Good family time bonding.
Good family fun right there.
Good food.
Right?
So gross, though. Like, you could just literally, like, the smell, I can't even imagine the freaking disgusting meat and cheese and all that. And wasn't the original title what was meat? It wasn't Meathead. What was Head Cheese? Wasn't it called Head Cheese? The original title?
No, I don't know.
For Texas Chainsaw? I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look this up. Head Cheese. Yeah, it's supposed to be called something else. Let me see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, original title for... Hold on, bear with me. Head Cheese, yeah.
Oh, was it really?
Mm-hmm. Budget $80,000 to $140,000. Release date October 1st, 1974.
Head Cheese.
Head Cheese, yep.
Yeah, I don't think that movie would have worked.
No. Not at all.
What does that even mean? Head cheese.
Like they're eating the head? I don't know. And there's cheese. Maybe.
Isn't like a southern? Isn't like a southern cheese? Slang?
Some kind of.
Well, Toby Hooper is Texan.
Yeah, and this is based on Ed Gein, the crazy serial killer Ed Gein, who was in was that Wisconsin? I think. What was that? That was creepy.
You stinky fuckhead.
Ew. I'm reading like different. Mean? No, I'm reading different facts and. Filmed in one of the hottest summers in Texas, with temperatures exceeding 100 throughout most of the 4-week shoot, the entire cast and crew were uncomfortable. Making matters worse, many scenes featured meat and animal corpses, most of which were actual animals, sometimes even roadkill. The stink of the corpses was unbearable on set and got worse each day. Yeah. Ew, and Gunnar Hansen wouldn't wash his...
Hansen, not Crenshaw.
He wouldn't wash his shirt, so it smelled like even worse day by day. Yeah, that's so... I would have thrown up.
How did they not get sick?
Well, I'm sure they did. But I think everyone was just excited to work on a movie, you know?
Yeah.
And it's interesting, too. You had on Mick Garris's interview, he had a really good interview with Mick Garris, and he was saying that they fucking hated me years after the movie still. But, I we made something that we could all be proud of. It's like I wasn't intentionally trying to hurt them.
Yeah.
I was just trying to make a good product.
Yeah.
And that was just the only way I knew how to do it.
And then a lot of indie film, that shit happens, you know?
Yeah. So that's it. So let's recap. Mine are Little Shop of Horrors, Blood and Donuts, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice. And that's the original Chainsaw, not the remake.
I was gonna go with the remake actually, just because I love Arlie Remy.
You know what scene I actually really liked in that one? It just like disturbs me every time. It's when is it the boyfriend, the hot one that is, he's tied up and he's got like half a leg. Yeah. And he puts the freaking salt on his like half. Oh my God. That scene. I don't know why. Like every time I get hurt or get a cut, I always think of that scene because it's like, oh, the stinging. And like, can you imagine like that unbearable pain? But I really liked that scene actually.
Yeah, you know, the remake was not that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
I'm not a fan of Michael Bay, but that was one of his better remakes, you know, because the dudes remade like a shitload. And I liked the cast in that movie, so, yeah.
And what were yours again?
So mine are Feed the Stuff and Ravenous.
All right, so that's your little mini marathon to watch on Thanksgiving.
Nice. Chainsaw it up.
I meant to do that 2 minutes ago. When we were talking about
Again, she needs to work on timing.
What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? What are your Thanksgiving plans?
Oh, I'm going to fucking tie everybody up to the fucking table and we're going to watch Joe Bob Dinners of Death. That's what we're going to do.
Do you have like any specific foods that you eat?
No, not really.
No?
No.
Pizza? Well, you don't do like the whole turkey stuffing thing?
You know, normally I work Thanksgiving.
Oh, shit.
And so a lot of times I don't get to like enjoy Thanksgiving a lot. So I usually sleep in or I'll just wake up, go to work, or I'll just go to a movie or whatever. Yeah. But it's been different since I had this pain in the ass over here.
I felt bad for him and brought him a whole spread.
Oh, that's nice.
And
at work.
When I came back a week later, it was all still in the refrigerator, not done.
Wow, why didn't you eat it?
Because I already had another spread.
Wow.
And then I had to eat that.
Excuses.
What about you, producer? What do you normally do for Thanksgiving?
The works.
You do the turkey and the stuffing?
I'm a decent cook. I just don't love it. I don't cook.
But it takes so much work, right?
It is, yeah.
Like, especially if you're doing the whole turkey, you have to get up and, like...
I like to be kind of creative. Like, I think of little different things to do. Like, one year I used oranges and everything. Like, I'll pick a little thing. So I stuff the turkey with oranges, my cranberry sauce. And I usually make everything. Like, all the cranberry sauce.
I don't think we had turkey last year, right?
No.
You just had ham, right?
Oh, some people do ham.
No, we did turkey and ham.
We did turkey?
Yeah, we did both.
I remember ham for some reason.
I made a turkey too.
I think I just ate the ham.
You just ate the ham.
Yeah. I think this year
we just did burritos.
That's nice. That's nice.
I told my kids to pick, so I'm like.
And I think this year we're just gonna go out to Chinese.
That's the perfect thing. Like that's the way to do it.
Saves everyone from cleaning, and then and it saves the headache from like actually sitting down at a table and like trying to get to talk to people. So.
Oh, and you know politics is always the first thing that gets brought up at Thanksgiving.
Bring it.
You know?
Oh, what was that
thank God I don't have to like go to my sister's and discuss politics.
What was that movie that we saw at Thanksgiving dinner about the family that had to sign that thing?
What?
Remember the Thanksgiving dinner movie that we saw?
They had to sign like.
So the government passed this bill that they have to sign.
Good. The Oath.
The Oath.
That was another movie that was really good.
I haven't seen that.
That was a good movie.
So this government passes this bill that everyone has to sign, and then there's massive protests, and then there's just one guy that's totally against it, and he's that relative.
It's basically like family divided.
Yeah, but he's that one guy though that's just that can't help it. He just brings it up.
Yeah.
You know, if something says something stupid, he's gonna point it out. You know what I mean? And so they all argue and shit like that. And
I'm not like that at all.
No. And then someone rats him out, saying that he's appending someone's American rights.
Oh.
2 cops show up, or cops, hand quotes, and then they come in. They try to, reason with him. It's like, sir, you need to come with us. Blah blah blah. It escalates.
Reason with him.
Whatever.
Well,
I'm trying not to give. I'm not trying to give it all away. I'm just saying it escalates. All right, leave it at that.
Okay.
It escalates, and then it gets way out of hand that there's no turning back now. And then at the 0 hour, you find out that, it was all for nothing.
Wow.
Well, kind of had this underlining message about how much the government should control you and what you do.
They control everything.
And because they kind of, there was a little flip. It was about the family divided and the brothers arguing. One was on one side about signing the oath, one on the other. The other one had more of a hippie attitude, about a humanitarian attitude. And kind of by the end, after the government sort of, quote unquote, government interfered maybe in a way that sort of impeded on people's rights. Kind of the family, even the people who are for signing the oath, kind of, I don't know, came around. Would you say that? Like, it was kind of like...
Is it a drama?
It was funny.
No, it was kind of like...
It was kind of dark.
Like a dark drama?
Kind of violent.
Yeah, I mean, you could have
My kind of movie.
You could probably put it as like a genre film.
Okay.
But just because there's torture...
Oh, there is?
Yeah.
Is it a newer film? Or?
Yeah, it came out like
we went
a few weeks ago.
Oh, I haven't even heard about it.
It's like with Tiffany Haddish is in there. And,
okay.
And oh my gosh,
she's in like everything.
Yeah, she had like fucking 4 movies coming out back to back to back. So good for her. And then John Kreshner or something like that. I can't remember his fucking name. But he was pretty awesome in that. They
should do a horror Thanksgiving movie about like dinner and when politics, everyone like they should totally do like a purge Thanksgiving. I would love to see that. Or like I always had an idea for a film called Black Friday, and like on Black Friday it'd totally be like a killer like on the loose when Black Friday happens, and you could just get like you could bring in like the mass consumerism thing in, but you'd have it be like very 80s, and like the Thanksgiving trailer would be like Black Friday.
That would be funny to mix the purge and look how sick I am.
It'd be hilarious.
The purge and the Black Friday, the whole how people get in fights anyway.
And
the one day you can actually kill is Black Friday.
Right? Always happens
and it's set in a Walmart.
Oh shit. Have you ever been to Walmart at night? It gets weird.
Yeah.
Gets
plenty
weird.
of times.
Hasn't there been more than one body they found in the parking lot?
I'm sure they have, and
I know there was one in Salinas.
That's creepy.
In the car, and I think it was in Falmouth.
That's really creepy.
Or maybe that was somewhere else, but I thought it was.
No, Salinas. Yeah, but the oath that was actually one that I was gonna pick, but didn't necessarily fall under the genre. So
food or
horror. For horror, it did take place on Thanksgiving, so. But it wasn't necessarily a horror movie, so I couldn't pick it. But that was one I was thinking about. I was like, you know what? I might do that. Shut up.
Sorry.
Shut up over there. Go back in your little booth and just shh. Or we're just gonna make you a little booth. Make it soundproof it so we can't hear you.
For it?
Yeah.
Better watch it.
All right. Well, that's that's our Thanksgiving. Tune in next week for our Thanksgiving episode.
We need like a turkey sound, like even though we don't eat turkeys, and please don't eat turkeys.
No, eat turkeys.
No.
And send photos to Elisa's Instagram.
Fuck you.
Tag photos.
No.
Tag
stop.
Elisa in every turkey. The fuck is
that? Sounds like a cat.
You won't even guess what this sound effect is called.
Sounds like someone's throwing up.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's called eating wet pussy.
Ew! What the hell? It's so gross. I hate that word. Oh my god.
That doesn't even sound like that.
That's so gross. Anyway, I'm gonna throw up now.
That's it. That's our show. Bye.
Bye.
We lost our
Stay
fucking lost
scary.
control.